This is The Shit Take. Join me, Stellaby, and my co-host Arrow for the win as we cover everything from entertainment to current events. We hope to normalize the differing of opinions and keep an open attitude toward anyone who would like to share theirs. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's stoke some flames.
This is from IndieWire.com. And now there's another one that says Peter Dinklage says ending of Game of Thrones was a relief, but the hardest thing to walk away from. Like, which is it? Which is
I
it?
can understand that sentiment. You spent so long doing something, you definitely want to see it through. Maybe even get tired of it a little bit. Want to move on to something else. But
what he's doing, Cyrano. He's gonna be starring in the remake of Toxic Avenger too. Is interesting.
Yeah, no, I love Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
I love Peter Dinklage, but this was definitely a shit.
And then then they definitely. Because they replaced him too in freaking Destiny.
Yeah,
he was the voice of the little robot.
Yeah.
So he's not without controversy, but the title reads Peter Dinklage defends Game of Thrones finale. It's fiction. There's dragons in it. Move on. Dinklage says angry fans probably wanted the pretty white people to ride off into the sunset together.
Yeah. Because,
why that choice of words?
Because we've been watching Game of Thrones for 8 years, and we were fully expecting riding off into the sunset together.
Yeah. It's but I feel like those choice of words is coming from a hurt place. Like, is it because your character was a dwarf, heavily scarred? Like, what's up with that? Why have to use the term "pretty white people"?
I don't get
as if there wasn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, just in general, right? Like, who was really expecting it to be a happy ending? This is Game of Thrones. Like, we've been conditioned to expect your characters to just kind of get shit on and die and all this kind of stuff. So I don't think anybody was expecting them to ride off into the fucking sunset. Nobody was expecting that. That's a silly way to look at it. He says, by the way, it's fiction. There's dragons in it. Move on. If you're ever making the statement, it's fake, why do you take it so seriously? Then give back all of the money that you made from the series. Every single dime. Because if you're putting your time and effort into something and it means so much to you that you can take a paycheck from it, don't be upset whenever it means a lot to the audience that you're doing it for. Like, what are you talking about? Move on. It's literally the culmination of years and years of us waiting for a resolution, and the resolution was not bad. It was poorly constructed.
Yeah.
Not we didn't agree with the ending.
Mm-hmm.
How we got there was a poor construction. It was poor delivery. It has nothing to do with where the story went, I assure you.
It's just like, there's toxic fandoms here now, the multitude of media, but these were already popular books far before this was even a show. So I feel like, taking that source material and the massive divergent the story took is one thing. There's those articles about, George R. R. Martin coming out saying, I envisioned at least 10 seasons to properly display the character development, all the storylines that were ultimately abandoned. Like, there's so many characters that just basically disappeared between seasons.
And we get 7 seasons and a shortcut 8.
Yeah, and it's just like all these people who, whether the characters died, disappeared, went nowhere. Like, it's just like, what were you expecting, really?
Yeah.
The thing is, like I said, I wasn't expecting an overly happy ending. I understand with the world of Game of Thrones was very dark and bleak, and needless mass character deaths for no reason, especially in season 8. But I was expecting an ending somewhat of triumph, and I feel like it wasn't achieved by the end of it. It was kind of just like, oh well, here's a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense based on plot threads that weren't there, but here you go.
And that's like, the thing, right?
Even the speech that he gives when he's just like, oh, who's better story to tell than Bran? It's like, John had a better story than Bran.
The whole story was John's. Like,
Yeah,
who's
like
better
what are you
story to
fucking
tell?
talking about?
Literally, John's. Like,
Yeah, that was so
this whole
stupid.
show was about John.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? Like, that was just dumb. Like, I'm sorry.
And then another thing, right? Like, because he goes on to say, like, the show subverts what you think, and that's what he loves about it. Yeah, it was called Game of Thrones, but at the end, the whole dialogue when people would approach me on the street was, who's going to be on the throne? I don't know why that was their takeaway, because the show really was more than that. Well, that's because the reason why people are asking is because for 7 fucking seasons,
That's what the show is
the
about.
characters are literally asking each other, well, who's going to eventually
Yeah.
take the throne? You're surprised to be getting asked these questions? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, that's literally what the whole fucking show is about.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's
It
literally
was
what the whole
brilliant for
fucking
them.
show is about.
That's not brilliant. That's literally saying, "Oh, well, we're gonna make it into our thing." That's what it was. It was those guys saying like, "This is a story that's already been established. This is how the rules are in place, but we're gonna make it not about that because it's the edgy idea to change things so far off base that it becomes something else." And
Yeah.
as I said before, change for change's sake is not a good thing. You change things in every possible way just because you can.
Yeah.
Why not just make something new?
And that's the thing that's the most frustrating to me, right? The most frustrating thing was, how can you possibly defend a season, right? And I'll give you an example. This was the worst offense in my opinion. What was the one thing they were touting the whole build up for season 8? What was the one thing they were touting? Like the one episode that they were like, "Oh, you're not going to want to miss this."
Battle of Winterfell. Not to mention, none of it is fucking visible because they filmed it at night like a bunch of idiots.
I appreciated the darkness of it all until I could no
Yeah.
longer see what was happening.
What
We
was
can
the point
understand
of?
how that it's dark. We understand that it's nighttime. You don't have to make it to where you literally can't see a fucking thing. We understand that it's nighttime.
And what was the point of lighting everyone's sword on fire?
Oh, dude.
Oh, so you can see. That was so dumb. Like, my God, it was dumb. It was just really insulting the intelligence of the viewer.
Yeah, and that's what I
Saying
meant.
this,
That's what I meant with the Lord of the Rings thing, right? Like the longest battle sequence in cinematic history. That's what they focused on. In no way, shape, or form is that a legitimate scene, full length. No way, shape, or form. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about, though, right? They took these shortcuts.
Yeah, because
And
they want to
did that
draw
throughout
those
the entire season, and they did that with the 2 seasons previous to that too. Like, don't sit here and fucking give me this nonsense about people wanted to see the white people ride off in the sunset together, dude. Not all of your fucking fans are white, and not all of the fans that hated the fucking last season were white. Like, what are you fucking talking about, man? Like,
Exactly.
fuck
Like, what
outta
a
here.
what a weird fucking thing to make about race.
Yeah,
But
like
nobody else is drawing that.
nobody
Like,
said
conclusion.
that.
Yeah. A lot of those main characters weren't white. A lot of them were from different countries within the show. You know what I mean? There was the whole thing about fucking, Game of Thrones. It was 7 kingdoms. There were 7 different cultures at play here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The freaking the wildlings were like, people beyond the wall. They were just a myriad of different cultures and
Well,
races. So
something funny about that, actually, right? Thinking
yeah,
about it, just now came to me. The white people riding off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Was there another option? Your creators literally killed off the 2 black main characters that you had.
yeah, exactly.
So, I
Like,
mean,
what did you expect to see? I mean, that is so off base. I don't know where the thought process came for that, man. Like,
silly is what it is.
it's really silly.
Again, it's really unfortunate because I love Peter Dinklage, and Tyrion was a great character, but man, this is a really, really poor take in my opinion.
Hmm. Even the Golden Company, they just like, oh, they didn't make it the boat
yeah.
ride. They all
The boat
dysenteried. Stupid.
They died
like
on the boat.
This is a mercenary company that's been known to travel.
Come
Yeah,
on.
stupid.
Literally
Martin-
cutting corners.
Yeah, no. Martin said the books aren't going to end the same way, so I'm fine with that. It's just stupid. We're gonna have to wait another 20 years before this gets rebooted.
You
And
invite
then
a character like Jaqen onto the screen and then literally do nothing with him. The only time Arya ever actually uses her fucking, face changing, like, it happens one time Was there even
Yeah.
another time? Like, come on, man.
No, just the Walder Frey thing, and it's so stupid too, because it's just like, oh, for somebody who's supposed to be like silent and creeping along like an assassin, she's like, oh, I'll just be there right in front center of everybody, and then disappear, and then show up when I need to, and it's just like,
yeah. The way that she killed the Night King.
Anyone who defends that scene is a fucking idiot, because Jesus Christ, that was so stupid.
You're talking about the Night King?
Yes.
Yes. The way she kills the Night King,
ridiculous.
dude, like this. Drop it and catch him with the other hand, stab him.
Yeah.
Because the Night King, who fucking literally, one man shot a fucking dragon out of the sky, is gonna get tricked by a fucking. He never even gotten scraped. Never even gotten scraped. But
with how quickly
kills him in one hit, like.
With how quickly he killed people too. Like, why would he just grab you and then not just? Why would he not just bang you right there? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Like that's what I mean though. Is it's all cutting corners. It's how can we make it make sense? And it just doesn't make any sense.
But no, like it's crazy, because for a team of writers, whatever the hell, who ultimately chose to screw over a fan base to do Star Wars, and then didn't do Star Wars to do Star Trek, and then it apparently didn't even do that. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this content, consider liking the video. Also, make sure you're subscribed to be considered in our giveaways. We'll hold them routinely as our subscriber goals are met. This has been The Shit Take. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy, and we hope to see you next time.